have to live close to a lake or on a pond to enjoy having ducks on your homestead. If you're on the fence like Archie over here about adding ducks, today I'm going to share with you 5 reasons you might want to consider adding ducks to your homestead this year. If you're new to the channel, I want to personally welcome you here to Dragon Way Farm. My name is Ginger, and on this channel we talk about raising livestock, growing our own food, and doing all of our homesteading on a budget. When I first decided that I wanted to start homesteading, to be honest, ducks weren't even on my radar. I got chickens and I was happy with that, but back in the summer of 2021, my boyfriend's uncle had 2 ducklings that he had gotten for his kids as pets. But they were quickly outgrowing the space since they lived in a neighborhood. They didn't really have a good place to keep them. His uncle asked if we wanted to take the ducks. So Mocha and Monty entered my life. It wasn't long before I quickly fell in love with these 2. They were just so amusing, the sounds that they made, everything. I was really hoping that one or both of them would turn out to be hens, but they weren't. They were both dudes. So it wasn't long before we figured out we had to get them girlfriends, but I was really happy that we got ducks. One of the biggest reasons to consider adding ducks to your homestead this year is eggs. Ducks are great producers of eggs. Their eggs are larger than a chicken egg, and they have a higher yolk to white ratio. So if you are a baker or have a baker in your life, this higher yolk to egg ratio makes for fluffier cakes, higher souffles, and just an all-around richer baking experience. And you usually have to use less eggs in whatever you're doing. In addition to that, duck eggs are higher in iron, folate, and vitamin B12. Some people also say they're higher in protein, but that kind of goes without saying considering that their size is often almost double. If you have kids around and you're worried about broken eggs and things like that, a duck egg has a much thicker shell than that of a chicken. And the surface of the egg, it's pretty easy to tell duck eggs and chicken eggs apart. The duck eggs have a different feel. It's kind of smoother and it almost has like a pearly texture. I don't know, it's really hard to describe, but if you see 2 of them next to each other, it's really easy to tell a duck egg and a chicken egg apart. Ducks can also be more economical when it comes to egg laying than chickens can. They generally have a lower feed to egg conversion ratio, which means they don't need as much food to produce an egg. And also, as an added bonus, ducks usually don't need as much light to stimulate their egg production. So that means that they'll usually start laying earlier in the spring and stop laying later in the winter or fall. So if you supplement chickens and ducks together, you'll usually have a longer laying period. In addition to that, duck can often lay for a longer period of time. We know most commercial layers get about 2, maybe 3 years of steady production of eggs. Ducks will usually lay pretty steadily and pretty heavily for 4 to 5 years and sometimes longer. So the life of your layer is going to be much longer with ducks. So ducks are generally thought to be better layers than chickens overall for length of time throughout their life that they lay, for the amount of eggs that they lay, and for their egg to food conversion ratio. Now, if you are interested in getting ducks for eggs, the breeds that you're going to want to look at are the Khaki Campbell and the Indian runner duck. These are known to be very heavy layers, but we will also do a few more videos about different breeds of ducks that you might want to consider for different reasons. Eggs in general are known to be a human food allergen. Chicken eggs and duck eggs do contain different proteins in them. So some people that are allergic to chicken eggs can still eat duck eggs and vice versa. But definitely check with your doctor if you are someone that has an allergy but wants to dabble in the world of eggs. Just check with a medical professional, because I am definitely not one. The second reason you might want to consider adding ducks to your homestead this year is for meat. Now, duck meat is not as popular here in the United States as it is in Europe, but my research indicates that it is higher in vitamins and lower in cholesterol than chicken meat, making it a very healthy alternative. Now, I have never personally had duck meat, but I am excited to try it for the first time this year. Some breeds of duck, their meat is actually likened to beef. So it is considered a lean red meat. And I'm told that if you cook it properly, it's amazing. If you are one of those people that suffers from alpha-gal syndrome, which is a tick-borne illness that makes people allergic to protein produced by mammals. So you can no longer eat red meat from cows, sheep, anything like that. That suffer from alpha-gal usually can still eat duck meat. And Muscovy ducks in particular, I'm told, very much like eating a steak. If you are interested in breeding ducks for meat, Muscovy ducks and the Jumbo Peking are the most popular breeds that are used for that. The third reason to consider adding ducks to your homestead this year is that they're really easy to handle. So if you have kids around or if you are alone, ducks are very easy to handle. I've never known a duck to ever become aggressive. So if anyone watching has had any experience with an aggressive duck, please let me know about it. And if you have video proof, I'd love to see it, because the thought is absolutely ludicrous to me. Ducks are just chill, so easy to handle. They're not aggressive. Ducks tend to operate in like a hive mind, so when one does something, the others do the same thing. They're also very easy to herd, so 2 people can easily move an entire flock of ducks pretty much anywhere they want with very minimal effort. Like, ducks are just the easiest animals in the world to handle. So if you are looking for something that is like that, something that you're not going to have to worry about it attacking you or hurting you, and that's easy to move, ducks are really a good choice for you. Another reason to consider adding ducks to your homestead this year is for pest control. When we first added ducks to our homestead, we only had 2, and for about 6 months, that's all there was. They were just 2 free-range ducks, and ducks will go through any standing water that they can possibly access, which means ditches, puddles, anything that they can possibly get into. They will just eat everything in there. So mosquito larvae and eggs. We saw a dramatic reduction in the amount of mosquitoes just with 2 ducks, and this property has always had a horrible mosquito problem. But since adding ducks to the property, it's actually quite bearable. Last year was phenomenal. I actually got to enjoy being outside in the garden and didn't really see that many mosquitoes. I know that they exist here, but I think the ducks really did a good job at keeping the mosquito population down. If you do have a wet piece of property or you do suffer from a lot of mosquitoes, ducks might be a good thing to try just to kind of help take care of that. And if you have a lot of standing water on your property, ducks will pretty much monitor that and help to keep the population down. Ducks are also really good in the garden for pest control if you have slug problems and yeah, basically slugs. Apparently slugs are a delicacy to the ducks. Ducks are also a lot less destructive in the garden in the form of scratch. Everyone always hears, oh yeah, add ducks to your garden because they're so much less destructive. Which they are. They won't scratch around your plants like a chicken will, but they will strip almost every leaf off of your plant. So just be careful about that. I wouldn't let a duck into a garden where there's a lot of young plants because they will absolutely kill it. But if you have mature plants that are already robust and you just want the ducks to go around and eat all of the excess or all of the slugs and potential bugs, ducks could be a great choice for your garden just because they won't tear it up. And the last reason that I think that you should consider adding ducks to your homestead this year is the reason why I fell in love with Mocha and Monty in the first place. They are just so dang amusing. So pretty much everything that a duck does will just make you laugh. From the way that they move, to the sounds that they make, to how an entire flock will move in unison. They'll even do a little dance for you, just like this. It's very peaceful, and where watching chickens is more usually peaceful, ducks are just wildly amusing. They keep us laughing. Female ducks, they have a laughing noise. So I just find ducks to be very, very amusing, and they're just a really fun animal to have on your property. I feel like they're very low maintenance, and you get a lot for that low maintenance. So I highly suggest that you consider adding ducks to your homestead this year. And if you want to know if you can raise chickens and ducks together, look for my next video. And we'll also do a series about raising ducklings.